All right, folks, welcome back to Dustin Disc, and we finally have a new video here on the channel. The weather's been kind of bad lately, so I haven't been able to film too much, but we finally have a new course feature on the channel, and this is the Chickasaw Community Park course, also known as the Saw by many of the locals who play around here. And they actually just recently got brand new baskets, and they also changed up some of the tee placements, so I thought this was a perfect time to show this course off. It's a very difficult course in some areas. Everything's a par 3. Some of the holes are quite long. So it's going to be a challenge. You know, I expect to score much worse on this course than some of the other videos that you've seen, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And on our first hole here, it's 286. The parking lot and the road on the right-hand side is going to be out of bounds. And if you come this way, it's kind of a tunnel shot, and you can kind of see the top of the basket, that little yellow band right there to the left of that big tree in the center of the fairway. That's where the basket's going to be. So basically, you need some type of backhand turnover that's like up the middle of the fairway that'll kind of drift a bit to the right towards the basket, or you need to do some type of maybe like a little flex forehand. You want to make sure you don't push too far to the right into the parking lot that's out of bounds. So let's see what we can do.
Oh man.
That was gonna be perfect. Oh well, I have a long putt for birdie, probably gonna be a par for me. All right, so Tracy's playing from the red tee. Not sure what the distance is on the red tees, but the basket, kind of hard to see from here. What does it say?
183.
Okay, basket's basically kind of over there. Can't really see it from here. Tracy's gonna try to aim for that gap between the trees and try to get up there. Just a little too high, but that was the right line. It happens. Tracy hasn't thrown in quite some time, so let her warm up a little bit. All right, so here's Tracy. Basket's behind that tree right there. You can see it. Ooh. That was pretty good. Can't complain about that. Should be good to par putt from there. So Tracy's got a bit of a problem. She's gonna try to see if she can't get up close to the basket though. He didn't put that angle on it, so it just kind of drifted left. She's gonna have a tester putt. So I basically landed under the basket for the par, so I just kind of picked up. Tracy has a kind of a tester, but we'll see what she's got her putting game on today. Close. That's a tap in though, so I think she takes a 5 here. Not bad. Again, she hasn't played in quite a bit, so a little rusty. All right, so now we're at hole 2. It's about 260 feet, slightly uphill. It's just over this amphitheater seating. Basically, you can either go to the left side of that tree, right past the little curvy road, or you can go to the right side of it. And the basket's just right up there up the hill. I would say this is probably one of the easier holes on the course, just because there's a lot of more difficult holes coming up. So this is one you really want to birdie, I feel like, because again, it's one of the more gettable ones that you have. Didn't really go as... I kind of threw an understable disc on a hyzer flip and just kind of rode straight all the way. So I probably should have chose something that would be a little bit more overstable, so it actually would have faded left towards the basket. But I mean, I'm still almost pin high, and I probably have like a 30-foot putt, so I might be able to get that. We'll move to the red tee now for Tracy.
There or up there?
That's the basket right there in front of you. All right, so Tracy's up at the red tee, about 160 feet, but uphill, so it plays longer than that. Just got to get straight to that basket right up the hill. Ooh, that was good. Disc just stabled up on her a little bit, but it was a good shot. I mean, there's nothing you can really complain about on that one. You threw it right, just had a little bit too much fade at the end. All good. All right, so unfortunately we're hitting a little bit of rain. Hopefully it's going to pass by quick. The weather said it wasn't supposed to rain today, but it's raining. Tracy's got a pretty long putt. Oh, that's a par for Tracy. That was a close one. Not bad. All right, trying to put the property. Wind's picking up, rain starting to come in. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break after this.
Nice.
Woo, that fell out. So we got a birdie on the second hole. Probably one of the few birdies I'm going to get today. Well, this is what happens when you check the weather on the course about an hour before you go to the course instead of like 20 minutes before you go to the course. Weather around here changes real fast. So we finished up the second hole, but when we were trying to play hole 3, this is what we ran into. It's raining a lot and it's windy. But the radar seems like it's gonna clear up in maybe the next 20 minutes or so. So we're just gonna chill here with this nice little covered bench. Got some construction workers out there doing some stuff. I'm sure they're not enjoying the rain either. But the next hole is like a cool little downhill shot over there. But we'll catch up with you later after this rain passes by, hopefully.
Okay.
All right, so we waited out most of the rain for about almost an hour, I would say. But it's a little bit of a light drizzle, but it should slowly, stop raining as we continue to go on. We're at hole number 3. It's about 350 feet. It is straight ahead, very, very downhill. So it doesn't quite play the 350. It's gonna play less than that just due to the elevation change. So yeah, we're just gonna see what we can do here. Normally I would tee off from where Tracy's standing on this, but that ain't it, Chief. I'm not busting my ass here. So we're gonna play off the grass, which is a little muddy, but better than sliding. Yeah, that's a tree. Oh well, I'll get my par here, that's fine. All right, we're at the red tee, about 280, still downhill. We're letting Tracy again kind of throw off the grass instead of here because it's super slippery with the rain. Remember to keep it low. Ooh. That was pretty solid. She'll definitely be able to approach the par from there. She gets actually past where I'm at, actually. Nice. Yeah, so my disc kind of stabled out more than I thought it would with a little bit of a tailwind. I'm not really good at like the elevation shots because I don't really play a lot of courses that have them. I'm used to just more flat ground, so it's just stuff I got to learn. So I have a really long jump putt for a birdie, but realistically, just got to make sure I get up there and get a par. But I'll try to give it a chance. Every now and then I'm able to make one of these. I just didn't come back in, so that's gonna be a par for me. Tracy's walking up to her lie. Like I said, she actually was able to get a good bit closer than me from the red tee. This is what she's looking at. Pretty long putt, but we'll see what she can do. Ooh. Nice bid, absolutely par, so we'll both take pars here. Nice. As mine was about 10, 15 feet away, so I'll just pick it up. All right, so we're at hole 4. It's just under 400 feet. It plays downhill initially, but then it plays back uphill. I don't know if you can see the baskets kind of between these 2 trees here on the other side of the ditch. If you look up, you can see the yellow right there. This is a very, very difficult par 3. Really just kind of playing for par here. You can either kind of go straight at it and hope that you kind of skip up the hill and have a chance at something, or you could play like a wide forehand, like on the left side of this bridge and have it skip up right. There's a couple different options. Once again, I'm gonna kind of play in front of the tee because the tee itself is mega muddy, so there's like really no way to get footing. So I'm gonna kind of scoot up a little bit. All I can hope for is just to get somewhere up there and kind of scramble up the hill for a par.
Yep.
This is like what a wide forehand could look like on this hole, I guess. Do like a little sneaky backdoor route to the basket for par. So yeah, you could like maybe flare a disc up the hill like that and have a play at it, but you're definitely playing for par with a play like that. But it's a little bit more open on that side. Here you got a lot of low ceiling and trees in the way. So just getting a couple different looks. We'll move to the red tee now for Tracy. All right, so now we're at Tracy's tee. It's about 230 feet. Mostly just uphill from this position, uphill to the left through this gap that's right in front of her. Ooh, that's good. That's really good. Would have been better if it was maybe a little bit more centered and lower, but that's still really good. That was a really good shot. Good job. So here's where my forehand landed. And as you look here, you could play kind of a backdoor route because the basket's right there. But again, you're definitely scrambling for par from this position. If I could have gotten a better skip and gotten more to the actual bend right there, then maybe you'd have like a long birdie putt. But that's just one option on how you can play this hole. So yeah, my disc, I put way too much hyzer on it, so it wound up drifting really far to the left. So instead of getting to the opening like I was hoping for somewhere over there, I have a really tough scramble to try to get up there and try to get my par. This is a really tough par 3. It can be done, but definitely not easy. It's too tight to the backhand. Let's see if I can get this aiming forehand up there. I don't know what I got, but we'll see when we get up there. So you can see Tracy actually landed perfect. Really long uphill putt, to be fair, but hey, I mean, at least she put herself in a good position. So that's all you can really hope for, I feel like. Oh, she got absolutely robbed of that tree branch, but she is right next to the basket, basically like 10-15 feet away. So that is going to be a par for her, no problem.
Okay.
I actually scrambled pretty well. I thought maybe it might have drifted too far to the right, but it actually pretty much stopped, you know, right here in circle 1. So I got about a slightly uphill, like 15-footer maybe for a par.
Nice.
We'll take it. All right, so now we're at hole 5, uphill 215, 20-ish feet. It's a blind shot, but basically if you look right up this hill and you look at this big tree in the center, the basket is essentially just to the right of it. So basically you kind of want to fit something just straight up the middle of the fairway and then have it drift a bit to the right. I'm going to go for a flex forehand. Seemed to throw it pretty well on the last hole for the approach. So use my old trusty Justice and see if I can't do a little bit of a flex forehand and get up the gap, get to the right side and have a putt for birdie. Again, this is like kind of one of those holes you really want a birdie, kind of at the lower levels like I'm at, because a lot of these other holes are really difficult, like the one we just played, for example. But this is one you can pick up, just like hole 2. So it's definitely one you want to get. That might have faded too much to the right, actually, but I might still have a like circle 2 putt or something like that for birdie. It was a decent line. It just faded too much to the right. I needed something a little bit more understable, or I needed to flex it even more than that. But yeah, so as I thought, I didn't push it straight enough. It got too much right fade, so that means it kind of drifted off instead of pushing more towards the tree. So I have a longer putt, but you know, it's makeable. We'll see what we can do. I would say I'm like just outside circle 1, so maybe like 35 to 40 feet somewhere. We'll try to get a chance. Maybe.
Oh, so close.
You know what? If I miss high, it's a miss, but it's better than not being accurate. So I'll take that. I gave it a chance, so I'll take my par again. So I think I'm still at like 1 under, and Tracy's doing pretty well also. All right, folks, now we're at hole number 6. Again, all the holes here are par 3s, so I don't need to really talk about that too much. This is about 435 feet. It is essentially dead straight ahead. The first half of the fairway is pretty much wide open, but then obviously you have a cluster of trees that kind of form like a straight line starting your way to the basket. If you can get past those trees, then you're in business. You can try to ride your way up. There is a small little road that separates this first section of the fairway from the actual island that the basket sits on. I believe the road kind of plays like a river out of bounds. Obviously anything to the right side of this fence into that road is going to be out of bounds. That's really about it. You really just want to throw something that you can throw as straight as you can, maybe something a little bit flippy to try to, you know, get more distance, and just try to get past that line of trees. Really, I don't have 435 feet of distance to get all the way to the basket for a birdie putt. It's going to be a long look for me no matter what, so I'm just trying to make sure that I get down there and try not to hit anything. Well, I got past a lot of trees, but I only got maybe like 300 feet of distance, if that, maybe like 280. So definitely got a long approach ahead of me. All right, so now we're at the red tee for Tracy. It's about 210 feet up the fairway from where I teed off. And you can see my orange disc right there. So yeah, I got maybe a little over 300 feet up there, but still a long approach. And now Tracy basically has to, yeah, just anywhere right in there. I mean, it's kind of tough with the mud and footing, but just trying to basically get between the two trees right in front of her and try to get down to the basket as best you can. Ooh. I mean, that's the perfect line. Again, it's a yeet to get up to the basket. And she was able to put it directly where she needed to, so she'll definitely be able to approach for the par, no problem. Yeah, should be good.
Yeah.
All right, so we're really by a road, so sorry about the sound in advance. I'll try to get close here. Basically, right in front of us, we have hole number 7. It's 250-ish feet, and it's basically straight ahead to the right. You'll see the basket through all those trees. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, I hate this hole. This is probably my least favorite hole in the course. It really does just feel like a poke and hope hole. There are some small gaps up there between the trees, but they're so small. Like, it really is a definition of a poke and hope hole, where you just throw a disc straight and easy and just hope that it gets through that mess and gives you a birdie putt. And then wait till we get up there and I show where the basket's situated, because it's a very hard putt on top of already being a very tough fairway. Oh, carry it left. Again, whatever. So Tracy basically from the red tee has the exact same shot, just about 60, 70 feet shorter. So instead of 250, she's at about 180, but it's basically the same thing. Oh, she mashed that first gap, so she actually might have a look at something up there. Nice job. All right, so reason number 2 why I dislike this hole, besides the fact that it's behind a gel cell that's almost impossible to get through, is look at this basket. It's in these pull-up bars, which, you know, for one, I do kind of like the novelty of it. Like, it's a cool little gimmick, but the hole is already so difficult just to get through these trees and get into a putting position. And then if you're not in the perfect spot, like on either side of the basket, basically where I'm at on the opposite side, if you're straight onto it, those poles are all up in your way. Like, you're not making that putt. So kind of a challenging hole, but kind of ridiculous also. So I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but anyway, I have a really difficult putt coming back here. I definitely did not throw the best tee shot, but I have like a little window I can try to get through. None of the pull-up bars are in my way, but obviously this all is. There's like one little window like kind of right here that I might be able to fit it through. See if I can't get it.
You got the pole.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really expecting much, so I get a par. Tracy shot, and she did really well. She is about 25 feet from the basket maybe, so she actually has a real good chance of getting a birdie here. Her best look all day, no pressure.
Oh, God.
All right, get another putter. So 1, actually put a little oomph behind it, not crazy amount, but give it a chance. And then B, don't put so much angle on the disc. Try to release it more flat out your hand. Just aim for a chain link. I mean, there you go. Good job. All right, so now we're at hole number 8. There's the basket. Just a heads up before we explain the hole more. Wanted to go ahead and show it to you by that big old cluster of trees right there. You can see the yellow band. So the tee is about 300 feet away. Pretty flat, but then it starts to get downhill. Basically, you kind of want to just aim something to the right and have it fade to the left. So that park bench kind of thing that's by that tree, I'm kind of aiming to the left of that a little bit. That way it hopefully fires straight by that bench and then fades to the left as it gets closer. This is definitely another gettable hole for me, as long as I throw it correctly. So we're gonna give it a shot. That's about as good as it gets for me.
Yeah.
I may have like flared in front of the basket and like skipped hard left, and so I may not be close, but I mean, I threw the perfect line, so as long as my speed control was okay, I should be close to the basket, but we'll see when we get up there. So like I feared, I initially landed kind of in front of the basket, but then I skipped left downhill because I threw a higher speed disc, so it's going to have that edge on. It's going to flare when it hits the ground, especially if it's compacted ground like this. So I definitely put myself in really tough birdie putt range. I mean, it's probably like 40, 45 feet. It's gettable, but definitely not the 25 to 30 footer I was kind of hoping for based on how it looked out my hand. I thought maybe I had, pretty much parked it, but yeah, just bounced down the hill. I'm just not giving myself any easy putts today for the most part, so that's another par for me, unfortunately. All right, so now we're on the last hole of the front nine. It's hole number 9. It is about 470 to 475 feet. It is basically straight ahead. You can see the top of the yellow band here if you kind of hover over the crest of the hill. I think this is a good hole, but I do think the par is a little bit crazy. Like, this being a par 3, I don't know of a person who's birdieing this hole. Maybe if you had like a super sick backhand roller, you could get to the basket if you landed it just right. Maybe a couple of players have a really nice like understable like backhand, or maybe even a forehand that they can actually push all the way there. But it's a pretty decent tight tunnel, and the basket's like 470 away, so there's no way I'm reaching that. Even though it does start to go downhill once you get kind of like past the first 300 or so feet, which kind of helps you a little bit if you're able to get that far. It can maybe kind of skip down the hill, but it's definitely a tough hole, mostly because of the par, not because of the actual shot itself. I think the shot's fair. I just think the par is really difficult. So a little bit of a tailwind, so I'm going to throw my Hades, which is really lightweight understable disc. So hopefully it'll be able to handle the tailwind and get down there a little bit. It actually didn't stable up as much as I thought it would. I thought the tailwind kind of straightened it out, but it kind of just kept riding right. But at least I got up there a decent bit. I'll try one more real quick.
Yeah, I got right to the top of the hill.
Yeah, I'm going to try one more disc. This is my Big Z Thrasher. This is a little bit less understable than that disc, and so I kind of want to see how this responds to that same tailwind. I think maybe the tailwind also kind of let up a little bit right before I threw. I'm not really sure.
There you go. It's down there somewhere.
Yeah, we'll take a look. I mean, obviously I'm going to take my first shot because I'm not going to cheat, but definitely that second shot was way better. So Tracy, again, pretty much the similar shot, but she's just closer to the crest of the hill. Instead of being 470 feet away, she's like 315. So just about pushing it straight, really, straight as you can. That was nice. That was really nice. Maybe a little bit more fade than you wanted to the left, but still a good shot. Still got through the gap. All right, so my disc landed over here, so I'm off the tunnel, so it means I'm off the fairways. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of scrambling here. You can see where the basket is, but again, I don't have a straight line to it. So what I'm gonna have to kind of do, the only real shot I think I have is like kind of a forehand towards that sewer cap, and then have it curve to the right. I'm even gonna also maybe try to get like a skip on the ground and try to flare it even more right. This could go horribly wrong, and I'm gonna take my first bogey of the day. Or maybe, just maybe, this actually works out. But I really have no other idea. I can't go through that. I can't really go around that way. So it's either like a forehand roller or it's a crazy hyzer forehand. They go at it with the felon, so pretty overstable. Gotta hook it around.
It's over there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm short, but it's really the best I think I had from that spot. I am curious where my second one landed, though. So we'll take a look at that. All right, so here's my second shot, if you were curious. It's actually in this ditch line right here. So I actually threw that thing probably like 350 or so, maybe a little more. Basket's like literally right there. So I actually put myself like, I mean, that would have been sick. I could have definitely approached for a pretty easy par from there. It would have been like a really difficult like throw-in birdie, or I don't even think that's like jump putt range for me. It's probably a little too long. So that was a really good rip, though. I mean, it basically was exactly where I needed it to be. So just didn't get the best wind read, didn't pick the right disc, threw something a little too understable, it rolled over. So would just have been a little bit smarter, that could have been what I had. So at least I've shown I'm capable of reaching this ditch line and set myself up for easy par. So that's nice. Tracy, her tee shot landed about right there. Doritos bag for the lie marker. Definitely not hers. Don't trash your parks, people. And so she has options. You can either go, I think that's probably your best option, yeah. Right side of the tree to try to have it curve left. So that means you're gonna kind of spike it, right? Because you need it to go hard left after you let go of it. There you go. Yep, that's on line with the basket. Good job. All right, here's where Tracy landed. A decent distance, but she threw the perfect shot as far as accuracy goes, so give herself a chance here for a long par putt. Oof. All right, so my forehand actually got up here a decent bit. You know, it's not like a gimme putt by any means, but it's like 25, 30 feet, so definitely gettable. Trying to keep this front nine bogey free.
Oh man.
Nope. That's gonna be my first bogey of the front nine on the last hole of the front nine. So that puts me, I think, at even par, because I did birdie, it's at hole 2, I think it was some time ago now. I think for me on this front nine, the best score I could ever really hope for due to some of the distances and some of like the randomness of some of the tree placement, at least for my skill level, it's probably like a 3 under or 4 under, like tops. So the fact that I was able to get mostly, you know, close to under par, not bad. I definitely left a couple of putts out there that I could have hit, maybe get a couple more birdies, but all in all, you know, I'm not too mad. I've definitely taken some way bigger scores on the front nine on this course in the past. So yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Tracy also had a pretty good front nine there for the most part, definitely throwing some accurate shots off the tee, so that's good for the amount of time that she plays. She doesn't play too much, so I thought she did good. So yeah, we'll catch you on the back nine as soon as we can get it out there. We've had some time constraints, unfortunately, due to the weather delays, but we'll see what we can do. But thanks so much for tuning in. Follow, subscribe, leave a comment, help feed the algorithm, help grow the channel. Catch you next time here at Dustin Disc.